In my August 2024 review of Compound, I was talking about how many roguelikes we already have in VR and how it would take something special to really stand out from the pack. And here we are, only a year later, and I'm reviewing a game that, if you read the PlayStation Store description, you'd mistake it for Compound. Ascend a building through procedurally generated levels, shoot robots, and get all sorts of random weapons and luck of the draw perks along the way until you fight the final boss on the rooftop. Yeah, it's similar to say the least. But hey, at least Sweet Surrender has a platinum trophy. Honestly, if you're waiting for me to tell you how Sweet Surrender sets itself apart and delivers some kind of brand new gaming experience, you're going to be disappointed. You spawn into your home base with all the journal entries and trophies you've collected, along with the shooting range to practice using all the weapons. Every weapon you find has unlimited ammo, so the only thing you have to remember is to point the gun down pistol whip style to reload. You can equip 2 perks on each wrist, everything from causing more damage to recovering health with each kill, but the perks only apply to the weapon you're holding in that particular hand. These perks, along with the weapons you find, the items in the store, and the layout of each level are all randomized, forcing you to play slightly differently on each run. But the most important thing you can find on any run are health stims. The green ones recover your health, and the blue stims increase your maximum HP. And let me tell you that this is sort of the key to success here. If you take your time and explore each room rather than racing towards each level's exit, looking for blue stims and maxing out your health, the rest of your run is going to be a breeze. Even the unlockable harder difficulty, lunatic mode, shouldn't present too much of a problem. Even the lack of a crouch button shouldn't be an issue, because while you can crouch and take cover IRL, I played quite a bit of Sweet Surrender just sitting on my couch and dodging bullets by strafing left and right. And with that in mind, I completed my first run within an hour or two of starting Sweet Surrender, taking about 75 minutes to do a full run. Not all the perks you find are going to be that appealing, so I focused on the ones that made my bullets do more damage and anything that restored health. I killed the boss, which was crazy easy, and thought, well, that's that. I beat the game, time to move on. But that's not that. If you're like me and love completing challenges and checking boxes and unlocking new stuff, you're going to get quite a few hours out of this one. I'm up to 8 or 9 hours now, and I still have lots and lots to do. There's challenges here, like killing a certain number of enemies with critical hits or melee attacks or certain types of weapons, and these will permanently unlock new character classes and new upgrades for each class. I had zero desire to melee anything here. I mean, why would I? Killing enemies from a distance with pistols, assault rifles, shotguns, or sniper rifles, all from a distance is always the safer bet, and it's not exactly hard to pull off a headshot here. But the second Sweet Surrender promised to unlock a new ability for me once I completed this mission. Man, I was suddenly on board, and beat the crap out of every robot I encountered. When a game actually incentivizes you to step outside your comfort zone, now that's good game design. Sweet Surrender does do a lot of things right, but it also stumbles here and there too. There's only a handful of level environments, and they're not super appealing. The enemy AI can be pretty dumb sometimes, making some runs way easier than others. I always seem to be grabbing the wrong item accidentally, and you may have noticed, but every time I holster my weapons, I'm very deliberate about it. I look down and make sure that they're actually holstered, because it's a little too easy to think you've holstered your weapon, only to realize you dropped it a few rooms back, and when you reach down and grab it, there's nothing there. And there's just too much UI here. Everything's over-explained. Text boxes for every item, the perks you've installed, instructions on how to use items, even the weapons you're holding in your hands. It doesn't happen often, but descriptions of my gun have popped up and distracted me mid-firefight. It's pointless. This isn't information I need mid-game. Oh, and I do wish there was a capacitive touch option. You can choose between grip to hold and toggle grip, but on the longer runs, the grip to hold option will wear your finger out, so you might want to stick with toggle. The music's pretty good, if a bit repetitive, and although the environments are simple and cel-shaded, everything does look great from a technical standpoint in the headset. All the colors pop, especially in bullet time, and the frame rate's silky smooth, running at 90 native on both PS5s, with the Pro kicking the resolution up a notch. The adaptive triggers and haptics feel good, but, pretty standard. I had fun with Sweet Surrender. The weapons feel good, there's enough enemy variety to keep things interesting, and grinding out the different missions to unlock new upgrades and new character classes had me hooked. It's fun, and it's a good game in its own right, but it's way too similar to Compound, doesn't offer enough new, and with RoboQuest VR right around the corner, these more basic roguelite first-person shooters are headed for extinction.